meeting. We've been having different kind of interaction. Our team has been working so hard. Executive members have been working so hard to keep everyone on the line. And so for us, we have to continue the clarity model of the last business. We started business um, over 2 years ago on the as a pilot testing. 2 years ago, pilot testing, what we were doing majorly service payment business. We created a system we allowed everyone from all of these African countries, 12 countries, to have access to local top up, their various countries and currencies. That idea for the past 2 years uh, aggressively into fintech brand, fintech trade, like all ideas actually evolves. And for us, there's been consistency in evolution. And today we are here to talk about last. Last is completely start with the last services research and also trademark by ministry on the level of that means a trademark for business in Nigeria and outside of Nigeria. That's that. So when you don't have to hear the full name pronounced, when we say that, you know, is a trademark. And this is the name that we are going to be calling most of the time on a later stage and then our public conversation and public meetings so that we should be conversant with it. So Laslas is a business that is coming with clarity, it's coming with purpose, it's coming with milestone, it's coming with direction, it's coming with a very clear roadmap of ownership. So the few time that I have, I'm going to be able to pick out the model of Laslas pieces by pieces, one after the other, so we can get clarity for us. Because as a business, clarity is very key, is very important that you know what you are doing. Whatever anyone is doing in life, if you are doing anything without objective and the clarity of purpose, it means you are just roaming around and could be kicked out and you just exist in the space and anybody can eliminate you. So I would like to say that speed is capital and early ownership is king. So having said that, the last business model is simple. We are democratizing enterprise ownership, building partnership window for equitable access. That is what we stand for. We want to be a business that drives ownership using what you call democracy model. And if you go down to politics, democracy is simply defined as the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And that is where, in a country where democracy is practiced, people have a say, people have right of speech, right of association, right of ownership, and right of almost everything. In fact, even defamation, sometimes it could go scot-free in the democratic system. So some of the things that you may not be able to do in a very rigid military government, you have the opportunity to do it in democracy. So in business, we want to be able to move this model down to the last brand to say that it is essential for people who may not ordinarily have the what is it called, the capital requirements to be part of a business. There are big names out there. Take for instance, if you have missed the opportunity of joining one of the biggest fintech companies or banks in Nigeria, some of them, the top 10 of them or the top 5 of them that you know, if you didn't, plug in or missed out, or you were very young at the time, you didn't understand what it meant to be part of ownership of a business. And then this is another opportunity that you have. And this opportunity may not just be for you. Assuming that you have grown, you have gotten into an advanced age, or probably retired from active work or active labor or active service, this opportunity also will speak out to you to be able to build something for your own generation. So the democracy within the last when it comes to ownership is that We want to give every Nigerian and perhaps Africans the opportunity to own something at the early stage. And so the early level is what we are giving out, is what we are breaking down tonight. So what does the model of Laslas says? It says that with the democracy partnership that we are doing, we have listed out about 8 access, 8 opportunity, 8 categories or elements of ownership. Because at this point, we are going to cycle the word ownership, right? We have moved. We are saying that democracy is coming from politics of business, and ownership is something you have to cycle on this screen, the flyer or design that you are seeing, and then that ownership has to be able to go around equitable, has to be equitably distributed. All right, that's what it means by equitable access. So if people have the right, it's like you have the right to be part of something, and that is the kind of right we are giving out. What is Model 1 saying? It says that as a partner, which is the partnership aspect of the Laslas business, as a partner, upon successful premium subscription on the Laslas business model, you have ownership of 250 units of transferable private equity, or what you naturally call shares, right? Transferable private equity. And in the private sector, what is mostly mentioned is equity. So when it's now going into the public domain, where that equity is being now converted to public stock, that's where you most frequently use the word shares. But equity and shares are just similarly used. You can use them interchangeably at any point in time, right? And so this partnership that we are coming in as a premium, partner, gives you access to 250 units of this transferable equity at the early stage. This stage is not something that is open for a long time. It's a closed window. I was because someone the other day said, okay, if today pay tag is 10 years, because the fintech, the financial ecosystem is a system that if you are not sensitive enough to be able to understand the early level, you could also miss out. So as of today or this week, Paystack, a payment gateway company, turned 10 years, and they started as a very small payment gateway with a lot of glitches, a lot of challenges 10 years ago, and so over time they've evolved, continue to build, improve the infrastructure, built across to serve customers and businesses in Nigeria. They've moved into Ghana, moved into South Africa, and about 7 countries or so for the past 10 years. Over that period, there have also been an acquisition, a part acquisition model where an American company, Stripe, came in and they acquired a larger portion of that business, whereby the co-founders were still retain some shares for themselves, or equity, as we may call it, right? And so today they've been able to evolve, and they now have what is called a consumer app called Zap by Paystack, and they've also they are also going into what is called tech innovation, and they've also migrated or transitioned into a holdings or a group known as the Stack Group today. So it's usually like that. So what I'm trying to say is this early stage ownership is something that could mean something very reasonable, something great for you in the next 10 years. And that's why we kept telling people that when you are following up a business that is focusing on sustainability, understand the ownership level and key in as early as possible. Some of us have the opportunity to already own 100 units of the equity, own the 200 units of the equity. It may look like it's not visible, it's small, but time will tell whether your 100th unit is small, assuming you want to sit there, which is not what we advise all our partners to do. You don't want to sit on 100 units, you don't want to sit on 200, you don't want to sit on little. Where you have the opportunity, where you have the means, position yourself for something bigger, like the Adora of Zenith Bank. So position yourself and take it. So in essence, the first partnership ownership, the first ownership system as a partner is equity ownership, as what we call the early stage, shareholders premium level, right? That is the first thing you get. So the second thing you also get is a membership to our cooperative ecosystem. Our cooperative ecosystem gives you access to interest-free credits, or what you call loan, and of course give you access to be able to save, do what is called target savings. If you are paying rent, if you are a rent payer, if you are paying school fee, if you are planning for emergency, you want to be able to plan for emergency, maybe family, if there's a child coming up, there's something, there is a building plan, there's something, whatever it is that you want to do, you can use the opportunity. And of course, if you are a small business owner and you are looking forward to some capital in the future as part of a risk cover, right? Because as a small business in an environment like Nigeria, there are a lot of factors that may be against you succeeding. So the cooperative ecosystem offer you that window to also have the membership right as part of the partnership that comes from ownership. Remember, I did say that the Laslas business model is focusing on the purpose of democratizing entrepreneurship. We will not deviate, and we cannot deviate from what our business purpose stands for. And this democratic ownership by democracy is coming as a partnership window, or with a partnership window that first gives you access to ownership at the early stage. Secondly, gives you membership on access to a cooperative, as a cooperative member, where you have access to all these things that we are listing out, right? So the third thing that you are enjoying as part of this democratic access that Laslas is giving to you is what is called marketplace, a marketplace ecosystem, where you as a person, whether you're a business owner, whether you are an entrepreneur, you can operate on that marketplace or the digital commerce ecosystem as an affiliate or as a merchant. What does this space, what does this ecosystem offer you? You have a business, you have been struggling to make sales, you have been struggling to make people know your business, you have been struggling to reach out and create what is called a vast marketing opportunity, a sales funnel, build revenue. This is what this is for you. All right. Let's just say you have the opportunity to reach out to 1 million plus potential customers from across Africa. Wouldn't that be a great thing for you as a business person? You see, I go to say that Laslas is building a system that captures everyone. No one is left out. All right? No one is left out. And as we go down, you get to understand why no one is left out. Everybody is captured. Even as a teenager, as an adult, as an everything is covered, with the cooperative and the marketplace, as for a business owner, for a small business owner who is looking for a platform to be able to sell for customers who are not only in Nigeria, but can reach out to customers and clients who are outside of Nigeria across all of the 54 African countries in the long run. That is what the digital marketplace or the digital commerce ecosystem for Laslas, offers to everyone, right? So, and number 4, on the Laslas democracy ownership system is what is called the life insurance. Life insurance is one of the very first insurance products that we are looking at. We also have other list of insurance products that is coming up. The one that you are getting on a platter of gold as the first instance is the life insurance. Look at Nigeria today. Everybody is talking about security. People are talking about let Nigeria not happen to me. Let Nigeria not happen to my family. We are praying a lot. It's a good prayer, right? So it's good to always pray that Nigeria should not happen to you. Nigeria as a country has become synonymous to things happening. There's this Nigeria happening to me factor where people have now quoted and make it to mean that let bad thing not happen to me. That is what let Nigeria not happen to me means. In a system like that where you can't even move on the road. I was one of my partners that look, don't make sure you avoid road accident time. Whether it's short trip, the trip is really short, make sure you avoid a road trip because everybody is scared of something. In a society like that, don't you think that at some point you should have something that have your life covered? You should have some guaranteed risk covered, so that if anything happens to you in terms of permanent disability, very serious health challenge, or death emergency, your family members, your next of kin, you can have a claim of up to 1 million naira in a single year, right? This is a package. This is the model. This is the democracy, and this democracy comes with what is called an enterprise protection. We need to protect all of our partners. All of these things are very, very intentionally designed. All right. So, number 5 on the business model of Laslas, as we are looking forward to a very, very, mutual partnership with everyone across Nigeria. As we make progress, we have to understand the numbers that we are looking at. So, it's an instant 10,000 naira partnership cash bonus. Hello, this is not what you get on the streets. This is not what you get casually. This can only be intentional democratic access, to citizens, and in our own case, to our partners and those who wants to do business with us, right? This 10,000 instant partnership cash bonus is paid, and this payment comes as as a balance that you can use to say, okay, what can I access from the last dashboard? What banking, what financial activities can I be able to perform with it? So you have access to those things, on this offer partnership owner that is given to you. Another thing that you are going to enjoy. People kept saying the bank app is free at number 6 item now, right? The bank app is free. That is commission-based profit sharing. Commission-based profit sharing that gives you access to instant cashback reward across all services. Whether you are using the very common NDP that we have, as airtime, data, bills payment, and other very elementary products that we have, there is a return on your transaction. Returns on transaction. Returns on transaction. The other time somebody said, I use a particular bank app and it's free. So I log in there, perform my transaction, and all of that. And we want to say, how free is this bank app that you are using? Right now, with the new law being introduced, every 10,000 that go out to your account, 15 naira is charged. Whenever 10,000 and above, when you perform a transaction of 10,000 naira, right, 15 naira compulsorily. They used to call it federal government electronic transfer levy. Now it is called stamp duty. All right, that stamp duty is now charged to the person that is performing that transfer, and that 15 naira charge is different from the transfer fees that the very called free app that you are using, is also attaching to you. So by the end of the day, you may end up paying as high as 100 naira. These days people are very conscious of this stuff. So, but then, will it not be better that you are using a platform where there is a tax that's being charged somewhere, and then there is a platform that pay you for actually performing such transaction, where you are actually enjoying the opposite of reality? That is the kind of business that we want to do. All right, we're able to share. We know the pains that you are going through on the other side, right? But as a business, we generate profit from our own transactions. But then, because we know the cost you are incurring to perform this transaction somewhere else, it's okay. Let's take part of our profits earnings and share back with you, because for your commitment as a partner and for your partnership, right? That is what this means. So another very good thing, as number 7 item, that the Laslas model is offering is called access to virtual social media and ads management course. There is a full-blown, in a world where we are looking at the next 10 years, going into completely digital, where people will not bother about where your physical office is located, where people will not bother about where you are geographically located, where people will not bother about your physical business reviews. People will just do business with you based on your digital presence, based on your digital engagement, based on your data availability, your digital branding. So you need a training, a professional master class, a professional product on social media management that covers your personal brand, cover your business exposure, cover all of this. This is what you don't get for free anywhere else, right? This is what Laslas means. Enterprise democracy, where you have equitable access through partnership ownership. This is where we are, and this is what we are doing. And an idea that looks like a dynamic performance award, right? look at a dynamic performance award system that detail out. This is where we are going to be expanding into. And I want to say that the slides that you have been seeing over time, the slide is not an audio tonight. You won't see a lot of those slides because it's something that I don't know how many of us on this call actually have put down their pen and paper to be able to take note of where we are going. It is not necessarily that we move with crowd, but we want to move with few who understands the purpose of Laslas, who understand the business model of Laslas, who understand the marketable products, the marketing language, the clear understanding of where we started and where we are going on a clear view. All right. In the coming days, there's going to be a review of the milestone that we have been, shouting last year. Some of these milestones that we've been seeing for some of us who have been there, and for the new partners who are coming on board, we'll be able to see how we have mapped out the 5 years 5 years milestone starting from last year and going into the year 2030 to be able to reach a lot of things. That will include a full-blown, consumer banking system, as agency banking, and all of that. So, as number 8 category of the last business model is called performance award system, right? Whatever you are doing, look at yourself, identify yourself as an individual, as a partner with the business. And so, when you single out yourself as a partner in the business, know that for each activity, another activity includes what is called investor recommendation, premium partnership recommendation, activities of building up your affiliate system, whatever it is that you have, you have access to reward. So these rewards are in different categories. For this very 2026, which is the flash that we are looking at, our business model seems to, take out example of 100 persons, for instance, who are ready and are ready to do the business of Laslas, the business of building partnership, the business of building ownership, and what is there for them. So this business is offering what is called 10% on a partnership scale. So for each partnership recommendation, for each partnership connection, right? Partnership means that you have seen what Laslas is offering, and you have a pool of your associates, you have a pool of your family members, starting with your wife, your siblings, your children, your extended family, your associates, your partners, the general public, using your own desired marketing approach, to be able to get this partnership done. So for each time you are able to do that, you are rewarded 10% of the partnership, right? Partnership commitment, what we usually call the premium partnership, membership or subscription. So 10% comes to you, and the business is also able to spill out up to 5 of the affiliate structure, on the sponsorship level, 5 of the affiliate structure, up to 1 to 5 of the level distribution also happens to you, right? And another thing the business is doing is, once you are able to build up through partnership or through investor recommendation on a cumulative scale, you're able to perform ₦1 million, right, revenue from your own activities. You have access to what is called a 50,000 naira performance award. It comes to you. And I think we were telling some people the other day that, look, anything that is worth doing is worth doing well. This year is a year of record keeping. As a business person, I have my diary. So for every recommendation I make, I put it down. All right? Every recommendation I make, I put it down. Every activities that happen, I put it down. So that when the company say, these are the performance reward that we are putting in place to give to partners and those who are partnering with us to build the last business model. These things are designed so you can have your record in place. All right? So this year, as part of the performance award, the company is taking about 100 persons to 3 different locations, 2 international trips and 1 local trip, right? And our marketing director is also looking at a situation where the entire 3 trips can even be abroad, can be foreign, but it's also good that we explore our own local environment, right? explore the tourism option within Nigeria. This performance trip, this performance, what is it called now? Performance reward trips is also designed to cover what is called an exclusive masterclass, top-notch masterclass, world-class leaders, industry experts, mentors who will be there, either in Doha and in Singapore, right? Or in Obudu Ranch Mountain Resort Hotel. So wherever it is, you have access to all of these things designed together. So the partnership level is also what I want to talk about tonight. So on the platform, the partnership level has been broken down, right? To say, okay, there are limits that you may want to engage. For the first partner coming in, you have a one-time premium partnership of 100,000 naira to have access to all of the benefits listed out, all of the democratic ownership listed out, all of these things, 8 of them, you have access to them on an 100,000 premium partnership subscription. So once you come in on this level, you have access to all this, including the first one, the second one, the third one, until the 8 of them. It covers you. You are covered. And also this partnership open windows for you to be able to stand as a potential qualifier to all of the performance award system that is there. So this partnership, premium partnership levels are broken down into two, or into three rather. So there is what is called a starter, there's what is called the elevation, there's what is called the partnership, all right, the premium level, right? They are all partnerships. You have starter, you have elevation, and then you have the premium. All of them are partnership categories. So if you are among the first 100 that we are looking at to join us to the 3 trips, abroad and within, you have a duty to do. You are going to be meeting all of different categories of person. You are going to be meeting middle income people. You are going to be meeting high income person. You are going to be meeting, all categories of people, including students, right? While the business is a public business, while we are looking at the first 1 million download on the app, we are also looking at the first 100,000 partnership on the app. This 100,000 partnership is we intend to allow you to spread around, but it can also come from a single state, depending on how people want to understand a simplified equity ownership system, a simplified benefit that the Laslas business model is offering. This is the understanding we need to get. All right. So depending on the category of people you are meeting, you get in your own record. So somebody say, look, I may not be able to do the premium, all right, which is the 100,000, but I want to start from maybe the starter or elevation. What you have to bear in mind as a marketer or as a partner, this message is actually going to the very senior marketers who are joining us to the business. You may want to say, okay, if you are joining with the starter, if you are coming with the elevation, how long will it take you to move from this starter or this elevation to the premium? So somebody can say, okay, it will take me, if I'm starting with the elevation of 50K, it will take me 2 months. But the idea is this: by end of June, July, you should be able to at least, meet up with the 50% requirement for the trip performance, right? And because we are looking at a 10 months business year, January is for preparation, which is why we are having all of this conversation. We're having this exposure. It's for people to understand the business model. So while January is the time where we are preparing, and engaging, and a very time where people also try to, recover from all of the spending in December, trying to look at a month as one of the longest months they are going to be facing the year. So all plans are put together. So as a smart business person, this is when you set, your targets. This is when you pick your pen and paper and begin to write down your smart goals as a marketer. So you have this category of person. If this person is saying, okay, it will take me 2 months, say by end of March, for instance, if somebody is coming in with elevation, partnership by end of January, so it will take me until March to be able to, get to the final destination, which is a premium. So by what is called a progressive upgrade, all right? So paying elevation partnership, and then it takes you to premium partnership at that interval of time. Somebody can also equally say, I have to start with a starter level, and I have 2 months or 3 months to be able to move myself to premium. So the idea is this: for the first 100% that we are looking at for this high performing trip arrangement, is that you have to get in 200% with the whole of the year. All right, you have to get in 200% the whole of the year. If your own arrangement, this 200% works, if your own arrangement is looking at the partnership only, right? Now, partnership only to achieve 200 premium partnership in a 12, in a 5 month, in a 6 month, or in a 10 month window, depending on what works for you. All right. So taking this option. So for someone who say, okay, look, I have good contacts. Having studied this business model, having learned where this company is going, we are building a unified payment infrastructure that targets seamless payment ecosystem for Africa, and starting from this market and progressing into the other market in Nigeria, in Africa, looking at the Anglophone and the Anglophone system. He say, I have my uncle, I have my friend, I have my top employer, I have even my colleague who may have to come in, as an investor with a minimum 500,000 naira. And of course, this person also have the potential to even spread this money at his own convenience as well, right? And so you may have now options to be able to meet up the 20 million target. The revenue level is 20 million target within the 10-month window, and looking at either the 200 premium partnership or a cumulative of investor recommendation and partnership that takes you this. People can perform this in one single month. One single month, somebody can just strike a deal and go to bed. All the person will need to do, go get your passport ready, go get yourself ready, go put yourself in order, and then make your name available to a team who are preparing for this trip, and then you are qualified. And so we're also including this trip for all investors who are also able to be subscribe for that amount progressively as well within the year, right? If we say, okay, I'm coming in as an early investor to for the 20 million equity purchase of the private of the company shares or equity, then I will be able to spread this 20 million in this category or a one-time payment. It means you are qualified for the trip. Listen, when we are talking about a world-class masterclass mentorship conference covered with a trip in 3 locations within Nigeria and outside, or all of it abroad, because that decision is on the table to take the entire trip outside of Nigeria. It's not a joke. It's something that, if you understand what global exposure means, if you understand what masterclass means, if you understand what it means, to actually get all the knowledge you need to run your private life, yourself as a brand, because that is who a marketer is. You have to be able to brand yourself. If you look at top company CEO, a typical example is the Rabio of Voa Cement, and the Tony Lumelu of the Air Holdings and UBA. You look at how people brand themselves. Sometimes what attracts you to anyone is the way you carry yourself. Personal branding is very, very important in marketing. So you will know that this trip is something you have to do everything. If you are the type who fast very well, to be able to, have the understanding, the direction, because this year is the year of smart moves. Your move, whatever move you are making, has to be smart. You can't afford to waste time. You can't afford to be involved in things that are not productive. You can't afford to be involved in a random business that do not have direction. You just have to decide what you want. It's true that as the year is starting off, there are a lot of things springing up to get our attention distracted, but you just have to have a choice of direction. And that choice of direction is to be able to move in a direction where there's a future. 5 years from now, what is the future I'm looking at? 10 years from now, what is the future I'm looking at? Are you going to be the top owners, the top investor, the top shareholders of Laslas when we are having maybe our 10th annual general meeting, AGM, where we are announcing over maybe 100 billion or more as a profit return to our investors who started as small as 100 units of shares. These are the future. These are the picture that we want everyone to see. Don't see anything as a short-term, goal. Look at the long-term goal of what you are doing. People used to say that there's a karma, right? It's like that in investment. There is a future. There is a reward. All right. There is a return, and that return for sustainable businesses are usually not very very short. They are long-term returns. They are long-term benefits. They are long-term payments. They are long-term profits that you just have to look for. So if your mindset before now used to be somebody, you are looking for a company where by the time you subscribe for a premium partnership of say 100,000 and you are looking at double of your money in 30 days, I'm afraid to say that this is not that platform. All right, Laslas is a trademark. When we started, I said the Laslas as a brand is a commercial trademark patent name in Nigeria, okay, under the Nigerian commercial law. And so it is not a brand that can just be seen anyhow and doing things anyhow. We are progressing from service payment into fintech, into insurance, brokerage, into other products that will be coming in. And eventually, within the 5 years milestone, migrate into what is called a mobile money microfinance bank that allowed mobile money, allowed transfers of money, allowed consumer transactions or consumers payment across all of the mobile numbers within Nigeria and perhaps outside of Nigeria using what is called a Pan-African payment settlement system that's already been established. We have a cross-border business in focus. We are one of the most dynamic digital marketplace that you will look at because we are trying to connect on a cross-border level where we join in business from Ghana, we join in business from Cote d'Ivoire, from South Africa, from Kenya, and allow people exchange trade and allow transactions, payments happen smoothly on the cross-border level. That is where we are going. And so if you are looking at us as a small business, yes, we are small, but our vision is quite big, bigger than all the people putting together, as co-founders and everyone, putting capital and having literally two ownership slots in this business. The institution as a company has to be bigger than all of us, for it to succeed. The vision has to scare everyone. It has to be daring enough until the CBN, by the time they begin to see what Laslas is doing when it comes to the payment solutions, when it comes to the digital agency banking, the kind of numbers we'll be pulling, they should be able to ask who are the owners of these people, this business, and your name should be mentioned in the catalog that this person owns 100 units of shares, and when those shares are published, when those units are published, you'll be able to find yourself there. That is where we are going. If you have missed out in the past, I don't think that it is wise for you to ignore something that looks small, that has a potential of becoming something great in the future. That is the vision of the Laslas business model. And our mission is also to be able to deliver an inclusive, paperless, contactless, and secure payment ecosystem for Africa. So while we are looking at all of the changes going on the globe, we want to be able to reactivate what is called contactless payments, and that helps to reduce human contact. It has to reduce the spread of disease. It has to save much papers, that circulate. Some 5 years, 10 years ago, even till now, we still see recharge cards being printed, and we are gradually phasing out all of those payment systems. We are gradually phasing out of those transaction systems because our grandmother in the village are beginning to get used to smartphones. Smartphones is taking over, and all of the 2G phones are going out. In some countries in the world, in Europe and other places, 2G are actually discarded and become obsolete. So people are looking at the 5G, people are looking at the 6G, 7G, and up to 12G with a world of what is called satellite internet connection. So this is the future. And the question is, if all of these things have been put together to make a future transaction better, where are you in all of this conversation in terms of ownership? Or you just want to be there? Well, they say 5G is available. You only need to go and buy 5G SIM and slot in and start using, giving you high-speed internet connection, high-speed phone voice call, no buffering, no disconnection, everything is just there. And for the entire life that you are going to live, you just being a user. You don't have ownership to anything. I think that we should have a routine and try to have a conversation where people can talk about ownership. Sit down with your family, sit down with your children, talk about how you can put resources together and get a token of something that is starting up that will become something big. Get in, throw in there, forget about it, go to bed, right? And have access to the platform, do your top up there. By the time the money transfer is available, perform it there. Where you have the point of sales terminal, acquire it. Introduce it to your business. When you have the gateway, put it there. When the cross-border transactions services are available, engage. And by the time all of this go through the test of time and everything is in place, by the time you come back to look at your ownership, you will find out that like the one of the top investors of Money Point, like 8 years, I think 8 years ago, at the point that Money Point was valued at $600,000, he acquired about 1.2% of that business at a cost of $150,000. And so that company experienced what is called growth, right? The growth it wasn't spontaneous because you also go through what is called a very rigorous process to experience that growth. By the time they moved from stage one to stage two to stage three over a period of 8 years, 10 years, 8 to 9 years, right? So they started getting attraction, they started getting interest. But this interest that they've drawn is now beneficiary to what is called the early shareholders, just like the stage one of our business model, right? Early shareholders, those who saw the co-founders, trying to put things together and say, okay, look, can you tell me more about what you are doing? Can I come in? So they came in with what they could. So today, the person who invested $150,000 is now 8 million naira richer, $8 million, sorry to say, $8 million richer in the same company that he invested $150,000 to be able to, just help them achieve their MVP, help them create some market visibility, help them just test the market, test the samples on few customers with point of sales, where the vision of that business was to be able to have a mobile ATM, right? A mobile ATM in the form of point of sales, right? It will actually, take the ATM to a point where it becomes obsolete. Interestingly, with the availability of point of sales, as of this morning, I read where the CBN report says over 36 trillion naira worth of transactions still goes through the ATM. That will tell you how big the Nigerian market is. This market is so big. It's a market that if you are an investor or inclined and wants to really invest money, you will know that the financial ecosystem is where to come in. Otedola just sold his shares worth $750 million in his energy firm. Is it correct or I can't call the name exactly, right? So he brought in the money into financial. He brought in the money to help First Bank meet up with their capital base, the capital benchmark as regulated by CBN. These are some of the things. When you understand the market understanding, and then somebody is having a conversation with you around the most attractive, potentially profitable sector in the economy, you can't deal with it. You talk about financial ecosystem, you talk about insurance, you talk about e-commerce. This is going to be the driver of the economy. And that is why federal government is now sitting down to say, look, this kind of transfer these people are making up and down day and night. Let's look for a way to generate part of our budget. Nigeria presented a budget worth how much? Is it 45 trillion naira or thereabouts, right? They don't have that money. So what they are doing, what the government is doing, is to be able to tax its citizens who are not tax paying people, right? The citizens who are not tax paying people. So if we can't tax how they earn this money, or if it's difficult for us to, or before we begin to tax how they make this money, let us first of all tax their transfer. They know how much transaction is being done daily. So the people who are capturing this data have to advise them. They have to, they look at the data. Imagine in 2024, Nigerian people are performing transaction worth 1.007 quadrillion, not trillion now, quadrillion, 1.07 quadrillion as of 2024. These were the transactions that goes through electronic transfers. And government is saying, okay, if this is happening in a system where people say they don't have money, right? Everybody is broke, our bank accounts are empty, you can't tax us, we don't have job, job is 60%, job is 70%, unemployment, so to say. Unemployment is this, unemployment is that. But money is coming into this country. Where is this money coming from? Foreign remittances, brothers and sisters are sending their money from abroad, and Nigerians are enjoying, smiling, eating, and complaining to government, no job, we are hungry, no food. But this is how much they transfer in a whole year. And so let's start with the transfer. These are some of the things governments are looking at to be able to fund their budget. And it is calculated figure, it's calculated plan, it's calculated policy. They don't move blindly. The data are there to show them. Look, you can make 40% or 30% of your budget revenue from this thing, and it's working. They've been forced it since 1st of January this year. You and I, for every payment we make, there are VAT. We are paying more, and they are also watching you. All the narration of transfers you are making. If you want to buy good meat, you say you are buying Panadol. It's health. A lot of things are going on. A lot of ridiculous narrations are going on. And that's because the Nigerian government is saying, okay, we'll be able to tax all of your inflow. They don't care about what goes out of your account. They want to know what comes in and be able to analyze it very well and tax you adequately. This is why you have to understand that the financial ecosystem is a place that you need to be. So why I finish up our conversation so that we can take questions, I want to say that where you need to be in 2026 is to understand the business of the future, and it is the business of payments. Payments has taken over the oil sector, e-commerce, where there is the subset of payments is taken over. All right. So be nowhere else. And while you are in this ecosystem, understand that we need to protect your life. Insurance has to cover you. While you may be worried about some emergencies, our cooperative ecosystem we've got you covered, right? While you are worried about performing transactions where you get nothing out of it, we also have you covered that whatever you are doing, whether it's transfer you are going to be performing, money transfer from bank to bank, you will be paid. Everybody and everything here is coming with payments. So if I were you, in the month of January, as part of even my fasting, it should be that God give me wisdom to drive the business model of Laslas. And of course, position yourself as part of the early owners, part of the early shareholders, part of the early investors, and put your mouth where your vision is. And we will drive this and drive this together. So I want to thank you for your time today, and where you may have some puzzle, you need to ask for clarity. This is not the first meeting. This meeting is going to continue as we make progress to kickstart the Laslas business model full force across Nigeria, all of the region, and of course scale into the other African countries where the markets are very easily accessible, and also scale through even the difficult market of Africa. All of this is to bring inclusivity in terms of payment, in terms of ownership, access, and of course equality. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. I hope that we see you next time. Thank you. Communication, please. Thank you from me.
Thank you so much. I'll see you. Yeah, that was quite in depth. So please, do we have any questions? If you have any questions or you need clarity on something, kindly unmute yourself. Tell us your name and where you're dialing in from, and then let's hear your question or the clarity you need, please. So questions, please. Does anyone have any question? There's something you don't understand? you need clarity on one particular area or something, please, please speak up, speak up, unmute yourself and speak. All right, seems like everyone. Okay. Do we have such people here? Okay, seems like everyone's okay.
Okay,
No
I
one
have a
has
question. I have a question.
questions.
Hello.
Okay, go ahead.
My question is not to the CEO here, but my question is to all our partners. And the question is so simple. To all our partners, I just want to volunteer 5 partners who can tell me if really they have seen the future and what imagination about the future, whether positive and how positive it is with Laslas. I just want to volunteer 5. Um, for the rest of our Tuesday meetings, after today, I'm going to be putting a data reward to our partners who participate in this meeting. So I'll be needing 5 of our partners who attended this meeting tonight to give us a picture of imagination of the future they have been able to make out of Laslas understanding. Is anybody here tonight? Just 5. 1 minute for each person.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Kingsley. So, do we have any volunteers? What feature have you seen with the Laslas? Yes. Anyone here? Mm. We all come here to listen. All right, someone's mic is open.
Good evening.
Yes.
Hello,
Good
good evening.
evening. Good evening. Let's take it
Good
one
evening,
at
ma'am.
a time. Okay. Rema, hold on. Let Victoria go first.
Can I go on?
Jumoke, Victoria. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, ma. Okay. Fintech, the last model, to me is more of a fintech company. And what fintech company does is to, connect users to the customers, connect customers to, you know, the products that they have. So as a fintech company, the last model is a pathway that we can use to achieve, the payments transfer without, leaving the comfort of our homes. Most like all these fintech companies we have now. And also another feature I see is the e-commerce platform whereby we can connect users all around the world. We do buying and selling from the comfort of our zone, or from the comfort of our home. So the last model, as is bringing all of this to us. Technological advancement is is what is working for most of us in this generation now. They have to be up and doing technologically, um, using technology to drive your business. So in last now, we are capitalizing on that. We are going to leverage on that to also, you know, reach people around the world. As an e-commerce company, and so many other business models that is coming on from time to time. And that's what I see as a future of Laslas to me. Yes. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's take the next person. Dr. Kingsley, I hope you're there. I hope you're listening. So Rema, please.
I'm listening, very much listening, because my question is so clear. I said I want to see the future, how somebody has been able to imagine what it looks like.
All right. Good
Yeah,
evening,
Rema, go
everybody.
ahead. Mm-hmm.
All right. I want to give an example with Paga. Paga started in 2011, and within the space of few years, the Nigerian ecosystem could not carry them, and Paga had to relocate their headquarters to Europe. I am seeing with this last model that we will soon be leaving Nigeria in few months and few years to come to relocate the headquarters of this company back to the European countries or any of the United States countries, because with the plan on ground, if the ecosystem cannot even carry us with time, because that's the reason why we're having some models and changes that is happening fast in the industry today. So in the next few years, the future I'm seeing here is that last digital services is gonna be the talk of the town, the talk of this nation. So I'm just imagining a robust system that can cater for the 270 million Nigerians and Africa in the diaspora and the diaspora countries and nations, whereby everybody uses this ecosystem to fly with this transaction because of the so many numerous offers. So, secondly, I am saying that in few days to come, there will be seamless transactions in this portal, such that everybody has seamless transactions because of the last model. Thirdly, what I am foreseeing in the near future to come, we are not talking of 15 years, 20 years time. We're talking of 5 years milestone, 2 years milestone here, next year. People are going to democratize the economy such that people will run to last digital services when they are talking about the economy, just the way we are talking about other companies today, the money point and the OP them. I see us taking over those industries, especially with the microfinance bank and 5 years milestone that we are working on. The fourth agenda there again that I see in the near future is this: capital is the key to business, but early in a particular sector is to an advantage to every business owner. So I see those of us that are on this call today as early investors with Laslas digital services, because in few years time, people that are going to be joining us in 3 years, in 4 years, are not going to fly like us. So I see us as kings and queens in few years to come in this call. And the last point again is that there is no company in Nigeria that is having this last model. I may be wrong, but go to your research and check. So I am saying this, that in few years to come, the federal government will be interested in last digital services. If care is not taken, EFCC will have to review a lot of things, because the sources that is going to be accumulated, people are going to be carrying things in Ghana must go going back to their houses, because the sources is going to be huge. And at that point in time, there's going to be a robust attention that is going to catch up, that the eye of the federal government and the eye of the international nations, the European nations, are going to come to Nigeria to check what is happening in last digital services. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right, thank you, Rema. Thank you. Is there any other person we have to? Any other
Good
person?
evening,
Rema
everyone.
used more than one.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, ma'am. Good
Good
evening,
evening,
ma'am.
ma.
God bless
Well done,
you.
ma. Thank you for the
Yes.
lecture. So my own contribution is that last is going to stand out. The future of last is so bright that it's going to stand out among the fintech group, and it's going to really improve the life of the youth in Africa, especially starting from Nigeria. If the youth can really key in to all the program, the last program, it will be a very good a starting point for the youth of Africa, starting from Nigeria. And, with the new innovation, the equipment, and everything that Laslas is putting in place to make things work, is going to be very good and improve the life of so many people in Nigeria. That's what I just said.
Are you done, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for your submission. So we have 3 submissions now. Who is the 4th person?
All right, good
Number
evening.
4.
Good evening.
Sammy, go ahead. Evening.
Yeah, all right. The future of Laslas, in summary, is just more of like an advancement of the already existing fintech companies that we already know about, which has come to eradicate poverty from Africa using so many advanced features attached to its system. So we're looking at in the space of probably 3 to 5 years, how everybody will be eradicated from poverty, using the normal transactions activities we normally carry out. So Laslas is here to stay, and is one of the things that everybody, it will be a talk of a town, and that everybody will be forced towards to just to be a partner of. So in summary, that is the future of Laslas. Yeah, so thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Sammy. That's number 4. Who is the 5th person? Number 5. Yes. Who is the 5th person to make a submission?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm calling from Benue State. So my contribution or my view about Laslas company is that Laslas, just as the brand name is, Laslas is and will still be the last option that people across the nation will run to, because Laslas is all about changing people's life. It's all about impacting into people's life financially and in other way round. So even the next generation, they will have no any other option than to use Laslas, because the name alone, they know that that is the last hope that they have. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone that has made submission. Dr. Kingsley, if you're there, please.
Okay. I know I took us on unawares this night. From next Tuesday.
You're speaking, we can't hear you.
I know I took us unawares tonight, and from next Tuesday, communication is going to be giving out 1,000 MB to every person who makes a good contribution after our session, and then the progress of Laslas. And those contributions are going to look like: 1, ownership of Laslas. You take the ownership, and how do you want to run with it? You assume you are the owner of Laslas. How do you want to run with it? And what should we expect with your journey with Laslas from each session? Because our sessions should look like: now I know better. Now I know better. I knew before, but now I know better. That is what the purpose of these sessions we hold every Tuesday is like. And we're actually going to be taking assignments. If we can bring in weekly in this session 10, 20 people, we're equally going to be rewarding anybody who brings in people, and those people participate, how much they have understood, with a commitment to run with it. In project management, a project is said to be accomplished when the stakeholders have a buy-in into it. The only buy-in Nigerians come unnegotiated is a Ghana must go. The moment there is a Ghana must go, nobody cares what brought about it. Nigerians are ready to slug it out to have a fair share, and most times even unholy share, in not minding killing anybody to even maximize a more share. But that one is a short-lived share. But knowledge can take you farther than the physical cash can take you, more especially when you know what to do with the knowledge. So that now I know better mindset should be what will drive our sessions. By next Tuesday, Dr. Ma is with 1,000 MB for each of the 5 people who are going to be taking us through a journey like the owner as the CEO of Laslas. Why are we doing all of this? One, we shouldn't waste your time every Tuesday talking to you, and you shouldn't waste our time talking to deaf ears. You may not understand what this is. For those who are Christians on this platform, a lot of people know that scripture that said he came to his own, but his own knew him not. A lot of us are wallowing in abject poverty, not because opportunities didn't come to us, but because ignorance made us not to even treat the opportunity well. I will call it a day with just this. Good night.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Kinsley Ibechi. Yeah, and thank you everyone that made contribution. Thank you mostly to my CEO for the wonderful delivery this night. Thank God this call is on record. After now, we will share the recorded version for everyone that would want to listen again. So at this point, I want to thank everyone that joined in tonight, all the management team on call, the Catalyst, Lion King, my G, and everyone, who has joined in this night. Rema, Sammy, you are all recognized, and every other person. Thank you for your time. Thank you for always answering when we call. And we'll broadcast the next meeting again. Once you see the link, please reach out to people. Let them come and understand what we're talking about. Everybody may seem like they do understand, but there are still things you don't know, especially how the Laslas model. We'll keep talking about understanding the Laslas model until you become confident in it. Once you're confident, you are able to take it to anyone, talk to anybody, and stand firm to defend whatever you're saying. Not when you're talking, you're looking for who to get clarity from. And that's why we ask questions here. Do you have any questions? Do you need clarity anywhere? When you open your mouth and ask, you get clarity, and people will also understand more from the question. So let's do well to reach out to others. Anytime a link is being shared that we have a meeting, I don't forget what the Catalyst always say. Once you come in here, there's always something you will learn. There must be something you will take home, added to what you already know. And knowledge is key. Yeah, you can't, the minute you stop learning, that's when you start dying. So we need to learn every day, no matter the level you are, no matter who you are, even if your professor is times 10, you still need to learn, read, gain more knowledge. All right. So thank you guys. Do have a very good evening. Enjoy the rest of the night. So this meeting has come to an end. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, guys.